Morning, we had the opportunity to speak with BYU basketball assistant coach Nick Robinson right before the Cougars took the floor for their shoot-around and practice today. Here is that conversation. Nick, first of all, how was your courtside view on Saturday night of St. Mary's and Pepperdine in that wild double overtime? Jordan Ford goes for 42, Colby Ross goes for 43 performance.
Yeah, sitting there on the third row, scouting that game was really, really impressive. Both teams came out and fought, kind of a back-and-forth game, and they hit some big shots, and there were a couple of shots that were missed that were pretty big. But Jordan Ford and Colby Ross putting on an 85-point performance combined was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that was just the second time in league history two guys that scored 40-plus. That was wild. St. Mary's certainly a team that, that was a loss in Moraga without Yoli Childs. It was a dramatic win in Provo with Yoli Childs. So what do you expect tonight, 2 days after 50 minutes of ball from St. Mary's?
Yeah, I mean, the two games that we've played have been decided by 5 points. And so we expect another, physical battle, another exceptional game. And, it's going to be a challenge, really guarding Jordan Ford. How do we guard Malik Fitz, who played extremely well against us in the second game, and then being able to manage everybody else. St. Mary's does a great job of taking care of the basketball. They do a great job of making shots. And even though they played a lot of minutes on Saturday night, they've had a full day of rest. And we played the late game tonight, so we're excited for another battle.
You got to wonder about the 50 minutes on Jordan Ford's legs. Yet, he's top 5 in the country in minutes played. It's not like this was something new. The dude can run all day, it seems like.
Yeah, it really does seem like that. He can go, all day, and he does a great job, at the defensive end, making, his teammates better for the most part. But the biggest issue is him scoring the basketball, him being able to be in the paint, getting any separation at the three-point line. And so we've got our hands full. But I really think, Alex and Connor, as well as our, kind of team effort against him, we're up for the challenge.
What's the key to slowing his production scoring the basketball?
Missing shots, that would be very helpful if he would just miss all the time.
Cross your fingers.
No, but seriously, we want to do what we can to frustrate him, to get him out of his rhythm, to force him to things that he doesn't want to do. And so, if we're able to do that, 75, 80% of the time, we feel like that helps us, to limit some of, his really good possessions and, some of his percentages.
How are they different from the meeting in Provo to this point?
From this point, at this point, everybody kind of has a new season, right? And so, one of the things that we noticed, on Saturday night, across the board, they were really, really excited about the opportunity to be here in Vegas to play that game. And, they're going to bring that same enthusiasm and energy tonight. Statistically, there's not a lot of difference, from the time that we saw them in Provo. They're still scoring almost 80 points a game. They still take care of the ball at a very high rate. They're still guarding, well. And, they've had a couple of close games that they've been able to come out on top on. So, it's going to be a good battle.
And I guess Tanner Krebs didn't play in the game in Provo, and he did play in the game in Moraga, so perhaps he makes a difference, a guy that can shoot the three on the wing.
Yeah, they have shown over the past few games, in comparison to our game, that they've, had a few different lineups. There are some guys that they've, had on TJ that, maybe, haven't played, quite as much. They've had a couple of injuries. So we'll see what lineups, Coach Bennett has for us tonight.
What are you looking for? Because you already know these teams so well. When you scout those games at a conference tournament, why all three coaches on the court side, and what are you trying to pinpoint?
Yeah, so, a lot of the preparation has gone into scouting them prior to that game on Saturday. Coach Feger, has done a great job in preparation, for that game. But Coach Burgess, was there. He had scouted Pepperdine, right? And so all three of us are there, just trying to see, okay, what matchups, are they adjusting? Are there any new plays? What defensive adjustments have they made that might be similar to things that we'll, look to run? And so it's all the little nuances. And, as you can tell, we're also taking a look at their bench, to see what type of, energy that they're bringing to the floor. And so, a lot of the nuances of the game that we talked about extensively Saturday night, a little bit yesterday. We'll talk about it even more today. And we continue to move forward and get ready for the game.
How do you plan to defend a turnaround 35-foot three-pointer with the shot clock winding down from Jordan Ford?
Yeah, how are you going to do that?
What I really thought should have happened was Coach Bennett, right, should have called a timeout right when he was about to take the shot, or maybe even just block it. He was standing so close. It's March. We're in Vegas. It's March. It's a wonderful time of year for college basketball, and guys are going to make difficult shots. And you have to really do the best that you can to contest it. Not allow it to happen, and again, sometimes you just want them to miss.
Give us a sense of what the last 9 days have been like as you guys, as a staff, have tried to keep these guys fresh and excited and motivated, yet it's 9 days is a long time to not play a game.
Yeah, 9 days really is a long time, but we feel like it's been helpful, for some of our guys to be able to get, some of the aches and bruises out of the way, but it's been a challenge for guys to, day in and day out, come in and be prepared to practice at a really high level. But I think, Coach Pope and, the staff, I feel like, overall we've done a pretty good job of trying to mentally prepare the guys each and every single day, as if we're playing the next day. And that's been one of the magical things of Coach Pope the entire year, right? Every single game is extremely important. Every single practice is extremely important. And his mantra of us getting better every single day has really rung true even through this past week.
We learned from Chris Burgess that when you guys go out to eat, sometimes a few of you go to the dessert first and only the dessert. It's not about the meals. Coach Pope is a pie guy. He's slamming a pie courtside. Are you a dessert guy, or are you like a big meal guy?
I would, be okay with eating dessert, for the appetizer and maybe for the entree and even for dessert. But no, I've got a sweet tooth, which, can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, but really, really enjoy my desserts.
TJ Haws was named an academic All-American third team today. You went to Stanford. You're smart. What does that mean for this team and for TJ to have an academic All-American like that?
That's incredible. I think that's, it's been, maybe a couple of years since, there's been another academic All-American, and before that, it's been a while. But, TJ, I think as a finance major, that's incredible. To be able to do that, as well as being one of the, top point guards in the country, is absolutely amazing. So hats off to TJ.
Would you trust him with your money? Is that what you're saying?
No.
He went to Stanford. He trusts himself.
Went to Stanford. The Cardinal will be in town for the men's basketball tournament across the street, right?
Yeah, T-Mobile Arena. I think they get started Tuesday, Wednesday.
Where'd you play your conference tournaments? Were they home sites?
No, we were at the Staples Center.
You were at Staples? Yeah. Vegas would have been fun too, right?
Yeah, it could have been
Staples
a lot of fun.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nick Robinson with us on BYU Sports Nation, BYU basketball assistant coach. How would you explain the atmosphere and the mentality of the staff and the team right now in this moment, the morning of the big game?
I think our mentality has been like it's been, pretty much every single game day this year. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of extra motivation because, we're on a neutral site. We're in the West Coast Conference tournament, and, but we're excited about getting to shoot around. The opportunity to be able to get better in shoot around, brush up on a few things, from Saturday, and then we'll take, the rest of the day and move forward and, be excited about the opportunity to be able to come out and compete at a really high level. We feel like we've got to get off to a great start. We've got to have a great middle of the game. We've got to get off to a great start in the second half, and we've got to finish the game. St. Mary's is a very, very good basketball team, and so we've got to come out and be ready to play.
So in summary, Jordan Ford misses a lot of shots, and you play a complete, perfect game.
And you eat dessert.
Let's do it.
That's the game plan today?
That's the only reason I came to Vegas.
There's good dessert here. Absolutely.
Nick, always great to talk to you. Thanks so much, man. Let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma for tonight.
Let's go.
Take it, give it to all the guys.
Good luck, and luckily it's early in the afternoon. Oh, wait. It's at 8:30 tonight. It's a late one, right? Let's go.
Thanks, guys.
You got it.